And welcome inside Romano Gym for this week's Bulldog Instructional. I'm here with UMD head volleyball coach Jim Booz. And coach, this week we're talking about hitting. This is the exciting part, I guess, of volleyball, the part that results in the termination of the points. So it's a progression though. You talk to your hitters about proper arm movement, about proper technique. So it starts without even really hitting a ball or using a volleyball net.
Correct, yeah, we got to develop that arm swing on the ground first. We have a very specific progression they go through to warm up their arm. What you're going to find is most kids who have thrown a ball a lot in their childhood are pretty good at being able to hit a volleyball. Those who haven't played a lot of throwing sports or haven't thrown a ball a lot in their life, it takes some time to develop that comfort with getting that arm whip and understanding where you need to release your arm up here to get it to make high contact.
You've got a couple athletes behind us kind of in step one of the progression. So talk to us about this. I see you do this every day at practice. They start with this progression.
Yeah, and they're already well into the progression. And right now what we're looking for them to do, and what I'm looking for them to do technique-wise, part of it is the finish. If you notice when Mariah finishes through, freeze it when you're done, Mariah. We're looking for extension up through the body with her upper body rotated over the top. We're tucking in our left arm tight to our body with our hitting, attacking arm finishing to the middle of our body. So we're really looking for that rotation through to the center of our body, similar to what you see in pitching. Obviously in baseball they finish across their body. We're looking for something a little bit different. We want extension up here because we've got the net in our way. So we're looking for them to really drive that left arm down to extend their right arm up as they make contact with the ball.
And then you add into this the jump, the net, the set. So as the progression works out, then you get to see what we see on match day, which is all the outside and the middle hitters terminating those points.
Correct. So now we're going to head over to the net. The biggest thing we're looking for here, we're going to have them use a three-step spike approach. Given that they're both right-handed, let's go from a little bit closer, straight up and down. They're going to take a pretty small first left step. They're going to take a very large right step, close it with a break step so that their momentum forward ends up in momentum upward. They're going to go up to that ball. They're trying to line it up in front of their right shoulder, and now they're looking to do that hitting progression through the air as they finish, and I want them to finish forward as they do it. So if you look at the feet, it's a left, right, left, up, and then that finish forward and through the ball. You can see how they're really focusing on trying to get that upper body through it and snapping over the top of the ball. Obviously, the higher they jump, the easier it is for them to do this. But the key here is that right step to the ball to line it up properly. Obviously, we're relying on our setters, in this case Ashley, to locate that ball where we want it to be. But the hitter ultimately has the job of adjusting their feet to where the ball goes. So for example, it can happen where the setter misses and sets it a little bit too far inside. That outside hitter at the last moment has to adjust and take a bigger right step into this point to float to the ball a little bit more than what we're doing here, which is a very isolated, simplistic version of what we would do in a normal game environment or training environment where we've got multiple people on the court. From there, we're also going to add an element where we're going to put a shovel in their way, because obviously we rarely hit without somebody trying to block the ball. So now we can work very specifically on shots that we want them to hit. So I'm going to ask them to hit on the inside of the shovel right now and create a sharp angle across court. So now they're going to come in from a little wider angle, create it for themselves, and be able to cut it inside of where that shovel is. Go ahead.
We talked about some of the split-second decisions. This is another one for your hitters.
Correct.
Is that shovel's not stationary in a match.
Correct. It moves, and one of the things our ball control people can be doing in the background to help out is they're going to call shots for them. So right now, you can hear Sheena's telling her cross. She's letting her know, based on where the block is set up, hit that cross-court shot like they did there. Now let's go line. So Mariah moves inside a little bit more. We're coming on a little bit more straight on to make this a little bit more of a dynamic finish. And now we're going to finish down that line.
There's some of the finer points of the hitting game here at UMD. Another thing they have done very well over the past decade or so. That is it for this week's Bulldog Instructional here with UMD head volleyball coach Jim Booz.